Hi, everyone. Welcome in attendees. Give everyone just a few seconds to come in and get comfortable. It's nice to see you all tonight and to have you here with us in the space. I want to start off just by quickly introducing myself. I'm Julie Roliak Steinberg. I'm the Executive Director of Community Music Center. And I'm really excited to be here tonight sharing with all of you our fourth installment of our Shenson Summer Faculty Concert Series. And as we open up this space, Community Music Center wants to respectfully acknowledge that our organization sits on the ancestral and unceded homeland of the Ramato Ohlone peoples, who are the original inhabitants of the San Francisco Peninsula and who still live here today. And we make this acknowledgement to create greater public consciousness of Native sovereignty and cultural rights, and as a step towards equitable relationships and reconciliation. And I want to say that tonight's concert is sort of one in keeping with a really long tradition, thanks to the support of the Shenson Foundation. And these concerts have been happening at CMC for decades with the intention of really showcasing and highlighting our faculty, just not just as the educators that we know and love, but really to let their artistry, their collaboration, their vision for artistic excellence to shine. And so, there will be one more of these concerts to enjoy throughout the summer, but I want to focus on tonight's wonderful performer, pianist Erick Peralta. Hi, Erick. Thank you so much for being here. Many of you may know Erick from our teaching studio. He is an incredible teacher, and something some of you may not know is that he's also an alumnus of our program at CMC, started his music studies there. You can find Erick sort of traveling throughout the country and the world. He's played with some of the most iconic musicians, multi-Grammy winning musicians, leads his own band, is a really incredible collaborator and just super versatile in style. So we're really lucky to have him on our faculty. And tonight, Erick, we love the program that you've sort of put together for us. I hope you'll walk us through it, but we're going to hear the music of Chick Corea sort of with the Afro-Cuban perspective in mind as you've sort of envisioned it. So thank you for being here. I want to turn it over to you and sort of let us in on your conception of this and how you put these pieces together.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the invitation and for this, this moment to be able to share some music. And so I think just a quick tidbit in terms of how this developed. But originally, the plan was something else. Going into this planning and assembling music together and everything for this event. However, as some of you may know, that earlier this year, Chick Corea passed away. He passed away in February earlier this year. So assuming like many others, a lot of people, it was a shock. It was I think a huge impact. So that really, stirred something in me, and I was like, I think I need to like do something in terms of like maybe I could use this opportunity to also work in and show how much influence he's had on me in terms of my development as a musician, but also be able to pay homage to him. So it has been the last couple of months a lot of hard work in terms of assembling the music, arranging it, getting the people together, coordinating everything. It's nowadays 2021 as a musician, you have to wear multiple hats. But in terms of the initiative to do so, that's how it got sparked. But getting to the grain of the point in terms of what's my proposal with this, what's my intention. I wanted to highlight and emphasize the strong and connection that exists between Chick Corea, his music, the pianist, the artist, the composer, the musician, with the roots of the Afro-Latin culture, specifically Afro-Cuban, and to get an understanding of this. I don't know if many of you are aware in terms of his background, but Chick comes from he grew up and playing a lot of Latin music, and for some of you that may not know, his first gig was actually with Afro-Cuban percussionist Mongo Santa Maria. And so that already says a lot. He grew up around this music. He was in New York. It was a brewing pot, especially because at the time, you know, in the 60s, you had this, it was a huge hub for this emerging jazz culture as well as Afro-Cuban culture. So if for a second we, you know, stopped to kind of see, okay, like how was it growing up in that time? I think it's very evident if we, you know, take a listen to his music, like a good part of it has a very strong foundation and roots, you know, in that culture. So I thought this would be a nice opportunity to take his works, and deliberately I chose works of his that maybe are not as played as often, you know. He has such a huge repertoire, and we all love, I'm very fond about, you know, the standards like Spain, 500 Miles High, and, you know, he's had so many projects and stuff, but I wanted to choose compositions that maybe we don't hear too often, but and to bring out the roots that are behind that, and that perhaps were intentional or not. And lastly, I'll say, yeah, this was again an opportunity for me to pay homage to him. He has been, still is a huge influence in my playing and in my development and my growth as a musician, and I think for many others, a very, very heavy loss for just our artistry, our artist culture. So yeah, I think that's so what you guys are gonna hear, hopefully you guys enjoy. I want to highlight the musicians that you know contributed to this, that are part of the group. We have Ernesto Mazar-Kindelan on bass, and we have Colin Douglas on drums, and we have Carlitos Medrano on percussion. Also, I want to take a moment to thank the people that also helped out in getting all this together as well. To Roan Andrew, he was our sound engineer, and to my sister Lauren, who took care of the video portion of this, and assisted it, you know. So yeah, I don't know if I'm forgetting anything else or anything to add.
Oh, that's it. I think we can move to the first piece. And I think just want to mention to everybody that folks are going to see you in the CMC concert hall. So we will have a little bit of an authentic vibe to the
Oh,
Shenson.
yes. Yes, indeed. I know this would have been wonderful to do live as a, you know, with an audience and all this, but considering circumstances, of course, and given the resources we had, I think the best move was to, to find a moment to play down this music and offer it to you guys, and similar to how the concert would have been. But hopefully for another opportunity we can make this happen. But yeah, this took place at CMC, at the concert hall there.
Awesome. Let's take it away with the first performance. Wow, Eric, everyone is at home clapping because that was just truly phenomenal. Thank you so much for like so much energy. Tell us about the second piece and what we're going to be hearing.
Okay, yeah, I just quickly wanted to comment on this piece real quick. That tune is entitled Steps. It was recorded, I believe, on, I think it was his first, Chick's first trio album. Now He Sings, Now He Sobs. There's other standards there like Matrix and Windows, for those familiar with his repertoire. But that tune, I think, is the opener on that album. And ever since I heard that tune, I was always, man, blown away. Blown away. It's had a huge impact on, man, I had to transcribe that solo. I was like, man, ridiculous. But also what really intrigued me was just the structure of the composition, just how it lent, it's very, the rhythms used immediately started to resonate with me from the moment I heard it. And I was like, this sounds a lot like, the syncopations, that you could easily play this in a Afro-Cuban rumba style, and it just locks in so naturally. That's why, again, one example of how like organic and fluid Chick's compositions and tendencies, where they lay, they could easily be, they just flow. So I've been meaning to do that, to play this piece for a while now. So it was awesome to play with such an amazing group who are my brothers, and yeah, we had a lot of fun playing that. So that's the opener. This second composition is entitled Tones for Jones's Bones, and that is, you could find that on Chick's first solo album, and I think, yeah, that's the name of the album. So this the arrangement I did on this is more of a little more laid back versus the first one, Latin jazz instrumental with some other Afro-Latin rhythms as well, from the other side of the Caribbean, from Puerto Rico, and with a little bit of bomba and such like that. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Eric, that arrangement was so beautiful and had so much energy, and kind of had that really amazing fusion feel that Chick Corea brings to all of his music, and I could really hear the influences that you were talking about. So thank you so much for that. And I wonder how, as you were choosing repertoire for this concert and thinking about the third piece you're going to present, how did you try to sort of isolate those styles, or were you thinking about sort of wanting to highlight a different thing in each piece? Because I sort of felt there was such a contrast between the first two.
I think it was more the just each composition had something special, unique to offer, and it's just immediately kind of like already got the ball rolling, like with steps already. Yeah, I could hear rumba, hear this and that, and where tones for Jones. It's originally, like, for those that know, like, I've heard the original and such. You can see there are some changes, but at the same time, there's the essence. I mean, at least I've tried to maintain there. It's laid back swing tune, so it's already there. Kind of like it's just a matter of kind of shaping it a little bit. But I don't know. I think each composition, like I said, it has something unique to offer that is just, I don't know, it's very inspiring. Chick's music is yeah, without words. So I think that's how I treated and went about each composition. I wasn't looking for anything in particular for like I want a fast tune or something with this rhythm. But yeah, it's just they've developed over time. you um yeah, so I'll introduce the third piece coming up. This tune is entitled Folk Song, and you can find this on the album Three Quartets. So because I don't know, but I mean, Chick has, I mean, so many influences, and it's so incredibly diverse. He's had so many different chapters in his career, as a trio. He has quartets. He's had Return to Forever, and then he had the Electric Band. It's all these different, amazing. So with this album, from what I've heard and read, that his approach was to compose music, record music, in a more like contemporary jazz context, but with the approach of how they do in classical music. And, there's string quartets and such like that, but this is the jazz kind of version. But this particular tune, however, it was recorded in the original session, but it wasn't included in the first, and I think in the first issue of the album. But a personal connection with this tune in particular is I heard this when I was in school, when I was in Berkeley in Boston, and it just kind of stuck with me. It was I found a strong connection with it, given my background, coming from a Latin culture, and I don't know, it's just clicked, So I definitely wanted to include this as part of the concert. So in terms of approach, in terms of styles, this is a little more upbeat Latin jazz, but also it utilized another area of Chick's influences that he's incorporated so much and he's known for, which is Spanish music from Spain, flamenco, and all those rhythms. There's such a rich culture there. So I definitely wanted it to include a little bit of that as well, to pay homage to what he's done with the fusions of those styles, though the original doesn't have that. So this is a Latin jazz tune with a little bit of flamenco. Hope you guys enjoy.
y'all are just amazing, Eric. It's just every piece just has more richness and color, and it's just amazing to hear. I did get a message, a private message. Somebody wanted you to remind them the title of that piece.
Sure thing. That the title of that piece was Folk Song.
Folk song.
Folk Song. And for those that are interested in the original, it's on the album Three Quartets that has Steve Gadd, Eddie Gomez, and Michael Brecker. So that's the quartet. Some great tunes on that. I wanted to take also a moment to highlight there on the solos. That was Ernesto Mazar-Kindelan from Cuba with that beautiful bass intro and solo. And we had on the drums, on that drum solo, Colin Douglas from New York. So next piece. Should I?
What are we hearing next? We're
So
excited.
the next piece is entitled Guajira. So that is like, you can't get any more direct in terms of having Afro-Cuban roots there. For those that are familiar with the Afro-Cuban rhythms and traditions and the culture, there's a rhythm, Afro-Cuban rhythm called Guajira. So I've tried to dig in terms of where the inspiration may have come from for Chick, but the title says it all. And I chose this piece. I came across it casual, like I was digging for compositions that are maybe again that are not as played too often. And this is one of those those cuts that are just kind of maybe people don't play too often, because it got recorded. I believe you find it on, because there's a couple re-release of albums they've done, because a lot of these jazz artists, they'll record a bunch of tunes in sessions and then maybe they'll release 5 of them and they'll keep others in the back burner or whatever. So this was one of those. I believe, I'm not know if I may be mistaken, but they recorded this when they recorded the album Tone for Jones. I know Hubert Laws was on that, but then they released it on an album called Inner Space, which combined, I think, those 4 tracks plus these 2 or 3 more, which is one of them Guajira. And so this I in terms of my thought process, like my inspiration for the arrangement was to use the groove, the vibe, as is how it's interpreted traditionally in Afro-Cuban culture. For those familiar with the repertoire, a Guajira son is, you guys have heard perhaps Guantanamera. Guajira, Guantanamera, that one is, that's an example of one. So so that's what's behind this, but it also combines some contemporary elements, a little bit of funk and things that they come from different branches from the same tree. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Ooh, that groove. Ah, it was so tight. You guys, have you played together long? There's such a beautiful connection between all of you. Gorgeous moments of solos as well. Our amazing piano department head, Hi Grace Hinamin, is here, and she wanted you also to just remind her who the wonderful musicians in your
Yeah, it was much pleasure. I was gonna comment on that towards the end, in the sense of first, this is the first time we played this music. This is you guys are hearing a debut of arrangements that I did for this. I mean, I've been wanting to do a project like this, but for this occasion, but this is the first time we played this together like this. But we play a lot continuously in the Bay Area. different gigs since we're all freelancers. So we've met in that and on the scene, and but we do play much frequently, and I, I think it kind of shows a little bit. But yeah, those guys are my brothers, but they just happen to be as well amazing musicians, and I couldn't have done this without them. These are the guys, and not it wouldn't have happened. And but I'm very fond of them, and yeah, they're great. So that was Ernesto Mazar-Kindelan from Cuba on bass, Colin Douglas on drums from New York, and Carlitos Medrano on percussion, on congas from Cuba. So who took a amazing killing solo.
Yeah, it was absolutely remarkable. I felt like my jaw was on the floor. You're gonna bring us home. We have one more. Yeah.
Yeah, we have one more. This tune is very special to me because I think, man, it's hard to choose favorites and such like that, but I think this would be my top favorite out of Chick Corea's repertoire, his original compositions. By the way, all these are original compositions by Chick, but yeah, the arrangements are by myself. But so this composition is entitled Cappuccino, and this, when I heard this tune, I was completely, again, Chick, right? I get blown away. I'm like, what is this? But like I mentioned earlier, he's had so many different like phases in his career, like different bands, different things he's always, he was always experimenting with, and such a, he's just a genius. And he did this album entitled Friends that I guess would reflect more of a jazz fusion, kind of more contemporary jazz vibe, with guys like Steve Gadd, Eddie Gomez. So you will find this tune on that album. So in terms of again, the inspiration and my like, okay, where's this gonna go? I was like, we're taking this to, I mean, I hear immediately the Afro-Cuban jazz that came out, and I mean, still prevalent this day, but from from Chucho Valdés, Irakere, Gonzalo Rubalcaba. So like, who's are huge inspirations for me and icons, and that's what I was, kind of where I was drawing from. But as well, combining all these elements that Chick is known for, like incorporating, for example, the Rhodes, the Fender Rhodes electric piano. He's done so much with that, and even I think along with Herbie Hancock and such like that. But when people hear that instrument, you can't help but think about those guys, especially Chick. So so yeah, so this is it's the closer, I believe. So hope you guys enjoy this one.
Cappuccino, take 2.
You were right about that one, Eric. Unbelievable. Like, wow. I think I speak for the whole audience when I say wow. Yes, amazing. Again, just like the way that you musicians just became one amazing groove and vibe. Like it was just fabulous. So thank you for that. We did
Yeah,
a couple of questions.
yeah.
First being, I think especially seeing this last arrangement and seeing just how it all came together. What was your process for this? How long did it take you to kind of choose the rep, arrange it, work it out, kind of get it in the hands of these musicians and bring it to life? What was that like?
In terms of the arrangements and the repertoire, I'd say maybe a couple of them, like steps, folk song. They were already there. Like I've already had done arrangements for them, for an occasion like this, or I have projects, cooking, and then also I'm working on and stuff like that. So, but the others, yeah, the last couple months, just crazy last couple months, I will say, because as I mentioned at the beginning, as a musician nowadays, especially if you dedicate yourself to the aspect of performing and such like that, you have to wear multiple hats and juggle a lot of things at the same time. Like I performing, teaching, recording, producing, writing, and not to mention the other stuff that happens in life, and I don't complain.
No grocery shopping.
I don't complain at all. And I I joke around with my friends and stuff like that. I'm like, we signed up for this, but yeah, it's just because I've been trying to juggle those things. But I'd say I've been trying to. I was last couple of months I spent with the rest of the arrangements, in terms of then coordinating schedules. We rehearsed in a couple times, getting through it, and then we went right to it too.
Couple of times.
Yeah, really. That's we worked with what we had, and also recording. Preparing the stuff. I guess I wanted to present something, that you guys can enjoy, and something that could be, I know there's no substitute for live music, So I think this was the best approach, and hopefully it accomplished what it set out to do. And it was wonderful to use the space and to try to recreate some of that. And yeah, even there, we were like, man, we got to get this done, this and that, But it was great, a lot of fun. I think that's something important. I tell my students all the time, music is something. It's divine. It comes from above, but let's not forget that when it has such an impact. Don't forget to have fun, and when you're a listener, also it hits you, right? You're like, man, it has so many an array of effects it can have on you, But I remind students, like, don't forget that I know there's all this stuff, the material, the theory that we have to really, get under our fingers or whatever. But at the end of the day, we're not at least I hope not. We're not thinking about all that. We're just letting it all out, and enjoying it,
And I think it definitely felt that way. And you guys looked like you were having so much fun. And just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen at home, this man, he's a member of our faculty, and I know that your students just adore you and work hard. And so, please, if you're interested, we encourage you to visit our website. I just want to take one more quick look. Grace had two questions. She wanted to know about Swiss cheese symbol, and sort of why it's like that. And if you know
the cheese symbol,
Swiss cheese, because it has holes.
Oh, the holes. I think they call that. Drummers are gonna kill me, but they call that a splash symbol or something like that. It has a different effect, different sound for sure.
Brighter sound.
Something more, like I could even say it versus the more that rings out more. It's a little more, shorter. It doesn't last the decay, shorter.
And she's also wondering, and this might be like trade secret in terms, what setting did you have to get that beautiful sound out of your Norder or the electronic keyboard? What did you do to sort of?
Oh, that might be. No, we can sit down. No, that's I tweak, I custom, A good friend of mine a long time ago during school told me like getting into that, because that's also another, not in a bad way, but I mean keyboard, synths, those are different animals.
Right.
But a friend told me one time, he was like, with sounds and stuff, you should mess with sounds, tweak your sounds so they could be personal, just like the tone on your instrument on the piano is personal. And so the answer to that, yeah, I tweaked it. I tried to resemble, there's no substitute for a Fender Rhodes, but my hope was to kind of emulate that the Rhodes that Chick is known for. They made one for him, the Mark V. That's the one. So when you hear it, it's like, I know the Yamaha keyboards, they already, like the motif and stuff, they have it. They'll sometimes have it available, already hooked up. But yeah.
That's, you guys will together and have a conversation.
Yeah, like keyboard geek out, keyboard.
And a question about the replay of this. Yes, you can find this. We will have this on YouTube to be enjoyed many times with your friends and family. Please feel free to share it. Also be available for rebroadcast on our Facebook page where we're streaming now. And I think that is sort of everything. So Erick, I want to just extend from all of us at CMC a giant thank you for this opportunity to enjoy the music, to really get to kind of live this story that you put together with this, and to kind of experience Chick Corea's work through your eyes. It was really wonderful. And to everybody at home, a reminder that we do have one more. It's hard to believe that these summer series have, kind of come to an end. What is time anymore? We've got one more with Charlie Girk in 2 weeks. It'll be here online again. And he's going to sort of, he's created a really interesting suite of original compositions that were inspired by images and characters from the Mexican Loteria deck. So it's really going to be another really interesting look inside composition. So please come back and join us. We've dropped, again, that's August 20th at 5:30. We've dropped that link in the chat. So with that, we want to just hope everybody stays safe, stay healthy. Erick, thank you so much. Thank you to all the musicians that you brought and assembled to share this with us tonight. So be well, everyone. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
All right, take
Bye.
care.